New month, new winners are on the way, and in today's video, I'm going to give you an MLB best bet, a WNBA best bet, and an NFL best bet. All three sports we're going for today on this Tuesday, September the 3rd card. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I just try to get to the bag together and make some money. So it's been about a day since we've had a show. Yesterday, I did not come on the channel. Yesterday, I gave my team the day off. Yesterday, shout out to Labor Day. Hope you guys had a very safe Labor Day yesterday. We went 3-3 over the weekend if you tapped into our channel. We swept the board on Friday when we gave out 3 picks on Friday's card, where we gave you Western Michigan plus 24.5. We gave you Josh Hoover over 283.5 passing yards for TCU. And then we also gave you the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday on the spread. No sweat on all 3 of those games. Western Michigan covered easily. Hoover flew over his passing yards, and then Miami completely just dismantled Florida. Now, on Saturday, I came back and I gave you guys 3 more college football player props, and we went for a full fade. So 3-0 sweep on Friday, 0-3 fade on Saturday. That hurts the worst. Clemson, Penn State, we took that in a teaser. I get all my people who say you're not supposed to teach college football. Maybe this is why you're not supposed to do it, because Clemson just freaking sucks. Hate to see it. Wyoming spread, just another piss poor bet. Everybody, all the sharps were on Wyoming. We completely read that wrong, completely dismantled by Arizona State. And then Virginia Tech, never in 1,000 years did I think they were going to lose outright to Vanderbilt, let alone cover the 13.5 point spread. I didn't think they were going to lose outright. I had them in so many parlays, and they blew them all. So 3-3 over the weekend, 3-3 to start the college football slate. If you were in the Discord group over the weekend, then you guys know we finished the weekend up. We crushed it yesterday, going 3-0 on all our picks. We crushed it on Sunday as well with the USC on the spread and the money line. So this is why you guys got to be a part of the family. I know you guys are tapped into the YouTube channel, but make sure you're tapped into the Discord group as well, because that's where I'm adding more plays. That's where more research is being done. That's where I've had a little bit more time to dive into the analysis. So listen, guys, we're making money here. We've got a full fall slate on the way for us. I'm super excited to be here on the channel for this entire football season. College football, NFL is going to be wheeling and dealing. We're going to have some baseball playoffs, NBA. It's going to be an amazing fall here. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, make sure you guys do that for us, and let's dive into these winners today. 3 games, 3 sports. Let's get into it. For my first best bet of the day, let's go to the MLB card real quick. Let's get this MLB winner out of the way. We're going to go to the Red Sox and Mets matchup here, as the Red Sox are at Citi Field. They lost yesterday 4-1 against this Mets squad. A very low-scoring affair. This Red Sox team is really reeling right now. We saw them get swept by the Detroit Tigers in their last series, and they slowly see themselves falling out of that AL wildcard race unless they can figure it out. One of the reasons why they've been losing so many games recently is not only because of the pitching, because the pitching hasn't really been that bad. It's really been the hitting. The hitting's absolutely disappeared. This was a Red Sox lineup that a few months ago was untouchable. I mean, they were smacking home runs left and right. You had Devers getting the cycle, going for doubles, going for home runs. You had Connor Wong stringing together double-digit game hit streaks. I mean, you had Ref Snyder. I mean, you had so many different guys on this team that were helping you out, and now they've all seemed to go cold. And as a result, I think we're getting a low-scoring affair here, and I'm going with the first 5 under 4.5 runs here, minus 135 odds. Now, if you want to take the full game under, I'm not opposed to that. Both of these teams have been cashing in unders crazy of late. Red Sox have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. 4-1 loss yesterday, 4-1 loss the day before that against the Tigers, a 2-1 loss the day before that against the Tigers. They won 7-5 on August the 30th, and then they lost 0-2 against the Blue Jays on the August the 29th. So 4 out of their last 5 games have gone under. Meanwhile, for the Mets, their last 5 games, 4-1, 2-0, 5-3, 5-1, 3-2. All of those were good for us to cash on 5 straight unders for the Mets. But I said I could take the full game, but I'm going to isolate this to the first 5. Why? Because we have Cutter Crawford on the mound for the Red Sox. We have David Peterson on the mound for the Mets. Now, I do lean towards the Mets on the money line because David Peterson has been absolutely a cash cow. One of the most profitable pitchers in all of the major leagues this year. If you've been on him, then you've been making money. We've been on him several times here on the channel. 8-1 on the year is David Peterson, and the Mets have won the last 5 games on the money line outright in David Peterson starts. So that's really why I say I lean towards the Mets here. Also, given the fact about how bad the Red Sox have been offensively, and the Mets have had a few guys who can string some things together. We've seen Lindor extend his on-base streak to 31 straight games yesterday. Pete Alonso's swinging the bat really well right now. Jeff McNeil is starting to pick it back up. He's batting over 300 over the last few weeks or so. So we've seen this Mets offense really pick it up, and they're in a really good position in that wild card race as well. Both of these teams have a lot to play for right now, which is why I'm isolating it to these two teams, and that's why I think pitching is going to be at a premium here. David Peterson on the year has a 2.83 ERA for the Mets. His last start against the Diamondbacks, he went 7 innings. He only gave up 2 earned runs, which one of the runs was a mistake pitch home run. His start before that against the Padres, he went another 7 1/3 innings, 1 earned run given up to go with 5 hits. His start before that against a very hot Orioles lineup, another 7 innings, only 2 runs given up, and 6 hits. So now you can kind of see some of the form that David Peterson has been in. Really solid form, 4 straight quality starts for him. So if you want to take a look at his over 17.5 pitching outs, the line has not dropped just yet, but that is another line that I would look at. Now, meanwhile, Cutter Crawford on the mound for the Red Sox has been solid this year, 4.12 ERA, which is not the worst, but back-to-back starts where he's given up 2 earned runs or less, and that was against the Blue Jays, and that was against the Diamondbacks. We saw that Diamondbacks offense against this Dodgers team recently. They've been scoring a lot of runs, so it's good to see that Cutter Crawford's been able to keep that command there. As a result, I think that we're going to get a little bit of a slower start to this game. I would just isolate it to the Mets if you just want a side, because Cutter Crawford is known for giving up some runs. 4.19 ERA on the road, and in the month of August, he had a 6.32 ERA, so he's not in the best of form, but I do think that this is going to be a low-scoring affair through the first 5. Give me the first 5 under 4.5 runs as our first pick of the day. Now, for our second best bet of the day, let's go to the WNBA card before I give you guys a Thursday best bet in the NBA. And in the WNBA, we have 4 games on the slate today, 4 great games that we're looking at as we're getting close to the playoff time, so a lot of things are happening out there. One of the games that I'm going to go look at is going to be in that Connecticut Sun and that Seattle Storm matchup. Both of these teams are fighting and contending for playoff positioning right now. Seattle Storm are 19-13 on the year. Meanwhile, the Connecticut Sun are 24-8 on the year. But the Connecticut Sun made a trade during the trade deadline that has paid off for them very, very well. And I think that it's going to give them an X factor, which has allowed them to get some more offense in their team. And I'm going to back her today. So we're going to go with Marina Mabrey over 13.5 points, minus 105 odds. Now, Mabrey was traded mid-season from the Chicago Sky. And since she was traded from the Chicago Sky and coming back after the Olympic break, let's look at some of her numbers. 17 points, 11 points, 5 points, 24 points, 15 points, 16 points, 21 points, 15 points. So she's literally gone over this total in 9 of the last 11 games and 6 of the last 8 since she was traded from the Chicago Sky. You love to see that. And her 15 points against the Storm in the last matchup, it came on only just 1 of 3 shooting from the 3-point line. Mabrey is a sharpshooter. That's why they brought her here, to spread out the floor, to give them some more range. And she only shot it 3 times in that game and still got 15 points. She averages 6.3 attempts from the 3-point line per game. So she literally hits 2 or 3 of those. We're literally at 6-9 points, and we need 2 more layups, maybe a few free throws, and we get over this total here. The Sun have been pushing the pace a lot more. If you've been tapped into the WNBA, then you know they start off this year very defensive minded. They didn't have a whole lot of scoring besides Bonner over there. But now with the addition of Mabrey, that gives them some more shooting, gives them some more range, gives them a good person off the bench who's been getting about 25-30 minutes off the bench, so she should get the volume here as well. So I like the Connecticut Sun in this matchup. I'm not sure if they're going to win the game outright, but I do think that this is going to be a little bit more of a higher scoring affair. These two teams literally just faced off 2 days ago. The final score is 93-86 in favor of the Connecticut Sun. Can't tell you the last time they scored 93 points in the game. Oh, it was against the Dallas Wings. But literally that tells you, if you've been tapped into the Sun, they don't score that many points that often. So I'm expecting this offense to continue to go on that hot streak that they've been on recently. They've been cashing it on overs recently. I think Marina Mabrey, that's a great pickup for them. 14 points is not asking too much off the bench. Let's get her as our second pick of the day. Now for our third and final best bet, we're going to go to the NFL card on Thursday. We've got the Chiefs taking on the Ravens. It is ring night for the Chiefs. And we saw the Chiefs lose last year on ring night to the Detroit Lions. Don't forget that on that Thursday night football matchup. This time, I'm not 100% sure if they're going to lose. We'll see. Tap into the show on Thursday to find out. But I do like one guy to score a touchdown on Thursday, and that is Mr. Derrick Henry himself. We're going to go anytime touchdown minus 120 odds. I know some people don't like laying juice on anytime touchdowns. I get it. Isaiah Pacheco's at minus 110. I'm not opposed to that either, but I like Derrick Henry here. He's on a new team. He's on a new team in the Baltimore Ravens. You can always utilize a fresh start, and I think that he's going to play a huge role for this Ravens team this year, especially around the goal line. If you do not have to have Lamar Jackson running around and having to run the ball up the middle and take some of those hits, I think that's going to be very valuable for this Ravens team. James Harbaugh is a guy who can always draw up different schemes to get his running backs touches. And if you look at Derrick Henry's numbers career-wise against the Chiefs, he's always been able to do well. He has not played them in about 2 years. The last time he played them was back on November the 6th, 2022, when he was a member of the Titans. But in that game, 115 yards rushing, go with 2 touchdowns. In his 4 starts against the Chiefs, he's had at least 2 rushing touchdowns and 3 of the 4 starts. So if you want to get better odds value, take him at 2 rushing touchdowns then. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with the anytime tutty here. I believe that the Ravens are going to come out. They're going to play hard. I think they're going to show teams that they are the team to beat this year in that AFC conference. I do think that the Ravens, you want to sprinkle a little bit then on a future for them to win it all, because I do think that they have a very, very, very strong chance this year. That defense is got reloaded. That offense is completely dialed in. Lamar's Lamar. I think Derrick Henry is going to be that guy in between the tackles. When you get into the red zone, 10 yards or so in, I mean, that is dangerous, dangerous stuff, especially when you know that you have Lamar Jackson there as well, who is always a threat to keep the ball. Derrick Henry, for me, anytime touchdown on Thursday night football. I believe he scores a touchdown. The last time that the Ravens and the Chiefs met, the final score is 36-35. That was back in 2021. 5 touchdowns were scored in that game. So because of that, we're going to get a lot of offense to start the season, and the Chiefs are a little bit too banged up for me right now. So because of that, I think the Ravens are going to get a good, healthy dose of the run here. Give me Derrick Henry anytime touchdown as our third and final pick. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 2 best bets on this Tuesday card and 1 for Thursday. For tonight, we're going to go with the Red Sox and the Mets, first 5 under 4.5 runs. I also lean the Mets on the money line in that matchup. Then we're going to also go with Marina Mabry over 13.5 points, minus 105 odds. Cannot beat that for the Connecticut Sun. And then we want to lock in Derrick Henry's anytime touchdown. I guarantee you, come Thursday, you're not going to get it at minus 120 odds, because once all that extra money from the public comes in on it, because everybody's going to be excited to bet football's back, I guarantee you that one's going to shoot up. But there's also a few other guys on there that you can get good value with. Isaiah Pacheco's minus 110, Travis Kelce's plus 105. So there's a few different guys that you could take a look at as well. On Thursday, we'll break down that full game in a full analysis, and I'll give you guys a few more picks in that one. All right, my friends? Let's get to that cheddar. If you want some of the added plays, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group, and I got you guys. Let's get to that money. I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Later, gang.